Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
It's Coffee Ann here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us this morning. My name's Joe Callahan. It's Wednesday. It's February 19th. That's John Ward over there. Hi, John. Nice to have you here. And Tim Draper from Navigate Credit Unions here. Hi, Tim.
Howdy, friends.
And Melissa Smith has made it in, even though it is school vacation week
I
from
know,
the San
that's
Antonio
how
communities.
much I love you.
So the daughters didn't want to come in, just way too early.
They're
Is that
still
the kind of
sleeping.
well, there you go. It's way too
And as
early.
I share with everyone, it's a
Teenagers.
good thing they are. Nobody would want to see that this morning.
I love seeing teenage girls all disheveled.
Last
in the
week
morning.
would have been great. This week, not
Not
so
so
much.
much.
We'll try April vacation.
All right. All right, Melissa, time for our first message, please, from the St. Antoine communities. And then we'll tell you what's going on in the parking lot.
I have a lot of questions about that.
Okay, go
We
ahead.
started before the show went on the air. I have more questions.
All right.
So for those of you that don't know a lot about St. Antoine community, we are a large long-term care campus, and we are located in North Smithfield, but right on the line of Blackstone and Woonsocket. On our property, we offer a full continuum of services that range from assisted living to short and long-term skill care. We have a state-of-the-art rehab facility, as well as 2 levels of memory care. I want the status on the parking lot. Sorry. ADD, self-diagnosed. Anyways, so if you want more information on St. Antoine community, or you're interested in coming up and taking a tour when the ice thaws, you can reach me at 401-767-3500 or email me at msmith@santantoine.net.
All right, Melissa, thank you. Now, the story is, when I rolled in around 5:45 this morning, there was an empty shopping cart in our parking lot.
Did Dave forget to leave it back at the store?
Dave takes no responsibility for this. No, it was right up against a utility pole, so it didn't affect parking like that. And it's a nice one, black.
Yeah, it is.
Little green trim
Right,
around it.
yep.
And when I finally went out and took a look at it, it's a Dollar Tree. So there's a Dollar Tree right here at Park Square.
Wow, the
I'm
winds
assuming
really grabbed that.
came down
last
and,
2 days.
It could have been it.
and took a left.
Yeah.
Came down Park Ave. And then we just got a call before Coffee Ann began asking is it still there. And our thanks to Rainey and Linda Lamoureux, who came down in their pickup truck and picked it up.
All right.
Now, I'm going to make an assumption that they're bringing it back to Dollar Tree.
To
Or
take it home?
maybe they're keeping it. I don't know what
It is
they're
a
doing
new
with it.
piece of Art
Well, is the
Deco
Dollar
for their
Tree
living
closing?
room.
Is it like a keepsake? Did I hear that it's closing?
That Dollar Tree, no. Ocean State Job Lot is closing over
Yeah,
here.
I thought the whole plaza was closing.
No.
Am I starting a rumor?
Yes, you
I'm
are.
Sorry.
Ocean State Jobs?
I'll be
Oh,
quiet.
because they have one on the other side of town.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but when they're going to
When was
close, we're not
You
sure
would know.
yet.
I don't know.
But
No.
Dollar Tree is
The
not
new
closing.
owner is working out leasing arrangements with everybody, and we know Ocean State Job Lot apparently is planning August now.
Is it August? Okay.
Can we just
Last I heard.
blow up that whole
But the
plaza?
rest of
And
the
start
plaza,
over?
I
Kind
don't
of an
know.
eyesore of a spot. It just...
Well, the old bank slot, the CVS slot that have been sitting empty for years now.
Except between August and October, then when it's
Spirit-
Spirit of Halloween.
Right.
Is that auto? Is it an auto zone? What's the auto shop?
There's an auto zone there.
And
there's
does
a-
that
there's-
even do?
They could
Yes.
A lot of
Yeah, no,
business?
They do
sell
well.
spots in that area.
But there's
that they
another
And there's
one right down the
Dr.
street.
Jeffrey Dodge is right there as well.
Yeah, that's
His dental
Dentist.
office.
that's
yeah.
the nature of franchises. You can see Subways really close to each other too. They're all franchises, I gather.
The auto zone that I would think is funny is going out Social Street into Bellingham.
Into Bellingham,
They're
there's-
about
there's-
200 feet away from each other.
Right.
There are 2 AutoZone stores.
Really?
Yes.
Somebody
One's in,
corporate headquarters
one's in
must have said,
Woonsocket,
"Oh,
but
look,
one's in Bellingham, but they're about
traffic
200
flow is
feet
great on
away
this
from
road."
each other.
Yeah, well,
So they can always say, just go up the road. We don't have it. Go up the road. It's right there. They might have it. So anyway, it's where Almax used to be. And
the old Rhode Island adage, where it used to be.
yep. So maybe the Dollar Tree is getting back their
It's
their
where
shopping
the,
cart.
It's where the Providence Trolley Barn used to be.
Wow,
that goes way
There
back.
you go.
I'm kind of hoping you don't remember that, John. But
Is that before the Howard Johnsons
I
or
don't,
before?
But that was the trolley barn before Almax moved from the bottom of Arnold Street, which was after they moved from Main Street.
Wow.
wow,
They
That's
took over
it.
the Piggly Wiggly that was at the bottom of Arnold Street.
Piggly Wiggly. The best part about Almax was in Cumberland. You remember the one in Cumberland?
Oh,
with
the
with
conveyors.
conveyor in the front. That was
yeah.
my favorite.
And the
part of it.
rolling
No, they
things.
They all
Yeah.
had
The
those.
shopping
We
guys.
had it in Blackstone.
Those were a
They had it in
blast.
Park
Was
Square.
that just an
Bring
Almax
them
thing, or
back.
was that all shopping center?
I think it was mostly just an Almax thing. I don't remember seeing
Fun
it
to
anywhere
play
else.
with.
well, the
Oh,
other thing
yeah.
is now they're Just people and
Very uncomfortable
people listening
to
now.
sit on.
Oh, I'm sure. But you could lie down and roll. People listening now are going to be like, "What is he talking about?" Ann and Hope.
Yes,
the
carriages.
carriage thing that goes up.
That was the coolest thing.
They're actually trying to get the new developers
To keep it.
somehow. I don't know what they would do with it. But what would
Because
you do with it?
aren't they
can see
making
that.
apartments over there?
Yeah, it's going to be like 200 apartments.
Okay.
And retail shopping on the first floor.
I
It's actually
love
going to be
it.
beautiful when
You
they're
park,
done with it.
but you live on the lower level. You throw your stuff inside a carriage. You walk like you don't have to carry your groceries up and down to your apartment.
But can you imagine
Lots
what the
of reasons.
liability on that thing would be?
I mean, I could see.
And
some
then the kids
drunken
playing it and
excursions
stuff?
on
Yeah.
the weekend.
Well,
Right.
remember, Ann and Hope always had the 2 guards.
That's true. Top
Because
and bottom.
I did ask at about probably 10 years old, can I ride in the carriage going up? No.
Yeah.
No. All right. Looks like
I
fun.
can still smell that store.
Well, you know what they have one of those?
Nostalgic wise, can you?
they
It was
have
a
one of
very
Somehow
like,
that doesn't
distinct-
sound like a good thing.
No, I can remember the smell.
No,
They-
you just immediately.
There's one of those conveyors in a Target in Boston.
Yeah.
Is there?
And
Yeah,
For the
it's
shopping
just
cart?
like it. You
Island.
put the shopping cart in, and it goes up.
Goes
I'm
up
like,
and you walk up the
wow.
stairs?
It's an
Okay.
escalator for shopping carts.
I had family members that shopped at that Ann and Hope for years,
Yeah.
and then one day they decided we're going to hit the Ann and Hope in Warwick.
Oh yeah.
That was bright and shiny.
Yeah.
They go, this is not right.
It's
the
not.
floor's not warped. There's no black ceiling.
You don't hear the roll
Mold.
roll
You don't
parts
hear-
above your
that's
head.
right. They go,
Sounds
this-
like the ceiling's
this
gonna
is not
All
shopping
the
at Ann and
things,
Hope.
All the
all
things.
the things, all of them.
All right. I was asked to bring this up yesterday. Maybe John has seen it. I have not. Thanks, Denise. Sheryl Crow has come out and said, I've sold my Tesla because I don't like Elon, and I've given the money to NPR. I think that's where she gave it to.
Yeah.
As a protest. But the person that told me about it said, but she did this last fall. Because if you look at the video, it's all colors in the trees.
Yeah.
But she's squawking about it now.
Because nobody cared about it last year. Now all of a sudden,
Now people
she's
care
making-
about it?
What was he protesting last fall? The
Life.
election?
What?
Maybe just
was
the
she
If she did that
protesting?
last- if she
No,
sold
she-
it last fall.
Yeah, but now she's talking about it. She wasn't protesting anything back then. It seems.
Oh, she's just using that as the basis to say she's protesting?
And now she is. Yes.
Propaganda.
Is what it looks like.
I think she's trying to inspire.
Well, that's all right.
People.
They'll need the money once the federal government cuts their subsidy.
What, the music subsidy?
The Tesla subsidy.
All right, we did get an update, by the way, on the shopping cart. Linda and Renee did pick up the cart, and they are bringing it back to the store. They are
Excellent.
not. They
It has
are
been
not
saved. Mystery
keeping
solved.
it. So thanks, Linda and Renee. That's
I sort of
appreciated.
presumed that.
Well, you never know.
I love this concept, though. You announce that there's something in your parking lot,
I
and
just
then
thought
people
it-
just volunteer to come get
But
it.
I just thought it was odd. We don't normally have that
Right.
in the
I see
parking
a
lot.
whole new way to do yard sailing, like on the air, drop off
Yeah.
whatever. Let's say a Little Tykes playground set.
Maybe that's what.
Announce
Owen
it on
could
the
do,
air.
do
Boom,
a-
gone in 30
Do a
seconds.
neighborhood yard sale in the parking lot.
You're,
Well, I
not,
just-
you're not privileged.
broadcast
I've
live.
seen one from.
Oh, I'm sure.
I've seen one from that. Actually, was it Ocean State Job Lot? It might have been the other store on Capwell Street, a block over from my street, over near Getchell.
I know homeless people use them to carry their goods around, so I was just surprised to see one empty.
Yeah.
That maybe one of them could use if they really want one. But not now.
It's back
Our
in
good
its.
Samaritans brought it back to the
This is
store.
this is trash collection day in this neighborhood because of the 1-day delay.
But we didn't have it the way.
Oftentimes the guys that are collecting the cans in the middle of the night, they're still
Oh
out
yeah,
there.
they come out. Yeah,
They're still out there at 4 o'clock in the morning. I
Yeah.
see them from time to time.
it's best can
could
collection
be
time.
Can collection, put them in a bag, and walked off with the bag and left the cart.
Okay, but whatever. Anyway, is Sheryl Crow just trying to get more attention for herself? But
Sure.
but no, Melissa doesn't think so.
I don't know. I don't really have insights. Not like she's
Well,
one of my besties.
Why else, would you,
I
why else
just,
would you do it and post it if you
yeah.
weren't trying to
Well,
get
I think
attention
she's
for
trying to
yourself?
inspire. I don't know if she's trying to get attention for herself or inspire others to follow her.
To go against
Example. Yeah.
Elon.
I do
and
wonder
what
at
they're
what
doing.
point does Elon's persona affect Tesla stock in a negative way? If
I
it
was
does.
just wondering that this weekend.
Yeah,
It
and
has-
when does the board of directors pull a
hasn't
Steve
yet.
Jobs and say,
It
"You're
already-
going"?
You're out.
It already has a couple of times.
Yeah, but now there's a
Well,
a
it's not
board
like it's been in
that
the office
runs
very
Tesla,
much
right?
lately.
I mean, it's a publicly traded
Look-
company.
Look what happened to Steve Jobs. He
That's,
got
I was
thrown
just
out of
saying,
a
yeah.
job.
The jobs.
You're out.
Things can happen.
Yep. But he still gets SpaceX, which I don't know if that's a
Well,
public
that's why back when the election or the president's, I forget which speech. No, it was his inaugural speech, when you got Elon Musk, that's his right hand man, so to speak, and he's standing up there in his speech talking about eliminating the electric vehicle mandate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, how does that work out?
Yeah.
Not so well for him, I guess. So.
I mean,
I don't know.
my good friend Trump, I'll just throw it out there because my good friend Trump, to me, crossed the line on his Truth Social.
What'd he say?
When he posted, "He who saves his country does not violate any law," which is something attributed, though it's not proven to be positively something he said, but somebody who wrote about him after his death said that he said the same thing, Napoleon Bonaparte. And to me, that's basically a statement that says the ends justify the means, and that is not a way to run a government.
No.
And the odd thing is the U.S. and Russia are talking about getting a truce for the war in the Ukraine, and Ukraine's not there.
That moron blamed Ukraine.
I know, and I said, I'm pretty sure Russia invaded the country.
Yeah. No, he blamed Ukraine for not getting a deal. That was you should have had a deal beforehand. Why? So they could give everything up to Russia?
Yeah.
That was the deal?
It's actually become more sinister and more transactional to my mind. I read a story yesterday and I wasn't quite sure, but then I heard on some news reporting this morning that, in fact, it may be true, is that the deal that Trump is offering Ukraine involves them exclusively dealing their rare earth elements to the United States to such an extent that it would represent a huge proportion of the GNP, and they would do it as part of the reparations to pay back the United States for all the aid we've given them.
You heard this too,
I
Mark?
did.
And I'm
I did.
thinking if that's the case, he's wrong. Period.
Thank you, John.
That's a non-starter.
Yeah.
That's a non-starter. That's not how you do it.
No.
Settling wars for peace transactionally by raping the country is exactly what Europe did to Germany that led to World War II. So all he'd be doing is setting up the next war where Russia would again invade Ukraine and have no hesitation about doing it.
We start over again.
And all we would do is be losing out on some economic opportunities that if you ask Trump, he would say, well, we'll just negotiate and buy those minerals from Russia. Yeah, he has a problem.
I forgot. I heard it on national news this morning that they went and fired some government workers that they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Because
The
they were in the middle.
FDA.
They were in the middle of something.
Right in the middle of bird flu. Oh, sorry. We're just
Yeah,
gonna,
that's right. It's the bird flu
Just
people.
kidding.
just
That's
gonna
right.
leave everything right here.
Yeah.
But the worst part was
They're in the middle of hiring them back now.
But the worst part was
Yeah.
that cutting them off by firing them and shutting down their emails and such,
Yeah.
they had no way to find them and contact them again.
Right.
So they had to figure out
Turn
how
that
to
back
physically
on.
go find their addresses or phone numbers.
Can I
or
ask you a
something.
question? If you're one
okay.
of those employees, I mean, do
you
you
wanna
have the
come
right to
back?
sue? I mean, it's wrongful termination. I know that they want you back now, but of course, wouldn't you just up your contract terms at that point? Like
Trying
you,
to sue the federal government.
I just
is a
feel like there
nightmare.
are going to be
A lot of lawyers
infinite
have me, though.
lawsuits for the
I'll-
wrongful
I'll
termination.
come back at double the pay.
Well, that's what I would say.
I don't know that
Yeah.
you can.
Think small
I don't know
scale
you could
company.
do it
If
in
that
the-
happened in a small scale company, don't put it
Yeah.
on this grand scale.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Navigant,
You'd be sued.
you'd be sued.
Yeah.
They can be sued too on the fact that there are civil service procedures and
Yeah.
laws, and whether or not they're in the federal employees unions, I'm not sure. But it was Teddy Roosevelt that created and put into practice civil service laws that protected federal employees from the politics of simply everybody that works in the government works for whoever's in charge, and when the new guy comes in, they all go. That sort of went the way of the dodo bird at the beginning of the 20th century, and it's
But some of these
I
are
hate to s-
long
I hate
termers.
to
Like
say
some
it.
have been there for 25, 30 years and
I hate to say it, but
never a bad review.
if I could get the show back when Trump was elected, somewhere in last after the election, I was in here and I said, the first thing that's going to happen is they're going to get the courts all tied up in knots with lawsuits.
You
And
did
we
say
are
that.
in
They're all tied
lawsuits,
up, yeah.
daily new lawsuits,
every
whether it's
day, yeah.
employees or agencies or opposition trying to block something, and it's just
It's
it's
chaos.
nonstop.
It's exhausting.
It is.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting. But can I ask you, like, when I mean, we all know sort of how I sit on all this, and I've said it from the beginning. and I don't like to get political, but I do find it exhausting that there's clear, we're all on the same page with some of these decisions that he's making, and these very quick decisions, not well thought out decisions. But there's some people who still online are just pounding the narrative that he's right. How are you right with these comments about Ukraine? How is he right about these comments? And people think what he's doing is appropriate.
I don't see a lot of enthusiastic support over the deal going on in Ukraine. What I see a lot of enthusiasm about is the fact that he's looking to shrink down our government and get rid of waste and duplications. And now that it's become clear that actually it started with Bill Clinton, and DOGE is actually the same agency with a new name that was established by Barack Obama to have his little technical wizards go into the government and clean it up.
Yeah. Right.
And
but
so he's doing nothing different. He's doing nothing different, but he's doing it like a bull in a china shop.
Right.
Yes.
Because he feels it's the only way you're going to get something done. And as it turns out, it's the only way you're going to get something done. If you put it into the Congress's hands and you actually negotiate with them, in 4 years he'll be leaving office and zero will have been accomplished.
Right.
I have a problem with
There's
this.
a political cartoon in today's Blackstone Valley Call Times.
Yeah, no, I saw it this morning. It's the same thing. It's like everybody else starts doing something and they're heroes, and then when Trump does it, he's a Nazi.
Yeah, that's right. Tim found it
I
funny.
gotta take a quick picture of that one.
All right, we gotta take a break. So Melissa, it's time for a second message,
my
please,
God.
from the St. Antoine communities.
What to
Switching
talk
gears.
about? What to talk about? I will, so often times on the radio this time of year, I bore you, maybe some that are listening, others who maybe are curious to learn a little bit more about the placement of a loved one. I just like to say, advanced planning matters. And, if you've heard me talk a little bit about St. Antoine and all the services on our property, and you're curious to learn a little bit more, now's the time to come out and meet with me. Obviously, we have an expansive array of services on our property, and all of them involve some different component of applying and getting into the community. So I'd be happy to walk you through your options and explain the process to you. We are notorious for really welcoming people into our assisted living first and graduating them through every level of need that they have on our property. And so just to understand that process or understand how to get in at the starting point of assisted living, you can reach me at 401-767-3500, and we can set up a time to meet. Thank you.
So what are you really saying is when you get out of college and you get your first job at 22, 23, put your name on the list.
Put your name on the list. I know,
We'll
that's a
contact
good
you.
point. We are, all levels of care are full right now, and there's a waiting list, and some people have a very hard time understanding that and being patient. There's nothing I can do about that. We'd like to help everyone, but we can't.
Right.
So.
All right, more Coffee Ends coming up. Comments and questions can be called in at 766-1240.
Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse offers authentic homemade Polish food to make your next meal special. Try our many varieties of hot and fresh pierogies with onions and what they call dirty sour cream. Or pick up gołąbki, kielbasa, babkas, or some fresh rye bread. We also offer a large selection of specialty and imported foods. Open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, 9 in the morning till 6 p.m., Wednesdays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays from 8 to 5 p.m. It's Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse. Follow us on Facebook and learn about our weekly specials. Located at 855 Social Street, Woonsocket, Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse has all the authentic Polish foods you love.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go, shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
ON Radio.
It's Coffee In here on ON, AM, and FM. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callan here with Melissa Smith and Tim Draper and John Ward. Okay, switching gears just a little bit. On to sports for just a second here.
All right.
Rafael Devers and his comments. I won't move from third base.
This is not going to end well.
Alex Bregman came out yesterday and he said everything you're supposed to say.
Yeah.
Happy to be here. I'll play wherever Alex Cora wants me to play.
Yep.
Perfect. Raphael, that's what you were supposed to say.
Yeah.
And didn't. And, they all need to go watch the movie Bull Durham and listen to Kevin Costner and learn your cliches. If you haven't seen the movie, that's a very funny scene.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing
I'm
because
just here to help the team.
when you think of how much the Red Sox paid, I thought they overpaid him, but it was one of those, we've lost every good young player. Mookie went to we just can't do anything right. And then all of a sudden now we have nobody left except this one kid who's good, real good. So let's pay him $300 million.
But he's only one.
And he's not a great defensive third baseman.
No, and he gets hurt.
Right. And he doesn't seem to understand that.
Yeah.
And if he did, he might be okay with being a designated hitter and putting in. First of all, I'd love to be DH. All I got to do is sit on the bench and swing the bat.
And
That's
hit.
that's
your
that's
job.
all I got to do. Pretty good
general,
job.
come on, baseball players have nothing to complain about.
No,
really.
that's true.
Playing in the sun, and it's beautiful
Oh my
most of the
God,
time.
standing around half the day.
All right.
Sorry, I know you're a fan.
I'm not sure
It's the
that's
most
quite how it
boring
works.
sport.
It's kind of boring.
Oh my gosh, they
Keeping it on
barely
the,
have to run. Sorry.
That's all right. Keeping on the sports thing, Tidewater Landing is having a job fair this coming Monday. They want to hire 400
people.
Yeah. So it makes me. What's that?
Wowzer! I was just,
Yeah,
that's a lot of people.
They want to open in the spring, and I wonder if many of the part-time employees, and I'm talking like concession workers and people like that, and ticket takers
From the
that worked
post
at McCoy,
Yep.
who lived in the Pawtucket, East Providence,
Yeah.
Riverside area, say, hey.
Why not?
I've got experience, and it's in the exact same town and doing the exact same thing.
Right.
So
Why not?
Okay, come on down. And especially, I can think of is the bartenders.
Yeah.
They make great money.
They really do.
The tips that they bring in, so I can see all the bartenders that were there rushing down.
I hope that the draw for soccer from Massachusetts, from the New Bedford and the Fall River. I just hope that really materializes.
Yeah.
Of course, the bridge is not going to help that situation out at all. But the stadium's beautiful. I get an opportunity to tour it in one of those during construction things before they put the field in. And they've just got some great plans for it, and it's very easily navigable. Is that the word? You can get around pretty simply in there, even if you're older and there's not a lot of stairs
Where's
to climb
parking?
up and down.
Where's parking?
That was it.
That's the issue.
That's the question.
Right, but
Where do
they're
you
going to
park?
build a garage. They haven't got it yet, but they're going to build it as part of that other development that's supposed to happen at some point.
Put the garage at Apex.
Yeah, no,
And
well, they're gonna put a building next door to the stadium that's gonna have retail, supposedly.
Okay.
Retail and parking. And
Well, that won't be
other
ready
stuff
then
in
for
it.
this upcoming season.
No, you're gonna have to. They've got 1,500 spots, I think, around the stadium that they can.
They do.
They can fill. Yeah.
Oh,
They've got a few areas they can park.
Are
on.
they within? I'm trying to remember. I just took the train in Pawtucket. It's not really walking distance from the train spot that I was at. Is there a train stop close enough by?
Yeah. Well, there's
draw that?
the new train station is there. I think they're going to do shuttles
that's
from the
okay.
train station
No,
to the stadium.
yeah.
But you could walk it. It's about a half a mile.
You could, because I used to work over near the Guild,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking from there to the
Well, that's
stadium.
because that's where the train station is. the
Right,
Guild,
that's what.
essentially. Yep.
Yep, that's where I was thinking. That's about a mile. Like I'd say a mile walk from there.
You
no?
think it's a mile? I think it would be a little less than that, but yeah, it could be. I mean, it depends on how you have to zigzag
I mean,
your way
good
to the
for the
stadium.
Guild to hang in there. I know traffic's been a little bit lower there lately, but
Yeah.
if they hang in there,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Oh, I think
that
the Guild's
will-
doing fine.
that
Yeah,
will pick up.
only 4 or 5 more years.
Yeah. As you said, it's just awful.
All right. So, by the way, so the job fair is Monday from 1 to 3 and from 5 to 8 for the people that work full time.
There's 17 home games, I think they have. That's the other thing is there's fewer home games there than there were at McCoy. McCoy had 72
Yes.
home games.
Hmm.
Yeah,
But they
there's
wanted
17. It's all the other events and stuff.
and,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
high school
High school tournaments.
Yep.
college tournaments,
Right. Yeah.
that stuff that they want to bring in. I guess they can play, well, obviously soccer, but is it a legal sized lacrosse field?
I think you can make it.
Could you
can
play
make
it there?
such, can't you? You just put the lines. in the right
100%.
place.
It's just
Yeah,
different lines.
Okay.
But oh, I didn't think of that. But that would be great.
Possibly
Is
field
lacrosse
hockey.
across as big a field as even football?
See, I don't know.
It is.
It is?
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Other things going on. Cranston woman very lucky. Her and her husband driving down Route 95 when a big sheet of ice comes off the tractor trailer in front of them.
I gotta
It
tell you, that almost
crashes.
happened to me yesterday. So when I
crashes.
heard that story, I was like, oh.
Now, did it crash? Did the ice crash in front of you? Were you able to
So
stop?
two
or did it
things
move out of the
concerned me
way?
on the highway yesterday.
Okay.
That exact situation happened. Fortunately, it landed obviously before me, and I didn't realize. Oh God, it was on 146. The tractor trailer had just come off an exit onto the highway. Further up, it was more towards Uxbridge, so it must have just come off the lot. So obviously they didn't. I don't know. I guess they don't clear off the tops of the trucks.
Well,
They can't reach it.
They can't reach it.
There's
But I
mach-
thought it was a law.
They have brushes that they drive trucks through, and then the brushes brush the snow off the
But
roof.
because it's ice,
But,
right?
Yeah, if the trailer sits in a lot for 5 days over this weekend, for example, and it didn't move, and now all of a sudden you got to move it, that
Right.
stuff's frozen on the roof. There's nothing you can
Yeah.
do about that.
So that was definitely
So that is a lesson for keeping distance between vehicles for sure.
sort of timing it
Yeah.
to pass them on the left and pray that nothing was going to fly off, because I'd say 2 or 3 different sheets fell off.
Yeah.
And then the other part was the wind yesterday, driving next to, I went all the way up to Hudson, Mass, so I was on 146 for quite a bit, quite a few stretches. But tractor trailers with the wind yesterday, I don't
they're
get scared too
scary.
often, but I was swaying in my car, and it's pretty heavy. And
imagine
but
driving
those tractor trailers were swaying, very concerning. At many times, I felt
Right.
squeezed.
So the woman that was in the accident, she had injuries include chest contusions, a split lip, and a head injury.
Really? Well, it came through right on the side, so I think
Yeah.
she could have been worse. But
Well, she could have died, sure.
Just the startle factor alone.
Yeah.
They're West Warwick police are investigating. Okay, back to Tidewater Landing. You asked about walking distance and things like that. They are planning a walking bridge over the river to the stadium from the lot and park, which will have bus service. The lot where the Dragon Boat Festival is.
right,
if you've
so on
ever
the other
been to
side of the
Dragon
river.
Boat.
Right. Oh, they're planning the bridge again.
Yes, but
If it takes as long to build that bridge as it is the one in East Providence, we're in trouble.
Or the flyover on Sales Hill Road.
Fly over on Sales Hill Road, right?
I love that bridge. I love that bridge.
That flyover this week with the rain and the snow. Did anybody drive through?
Oh no.
I did not.
Not during the storm.
The
It's
drainage.
treacherous.
They got a
With
lot
the-
of work
with
to
the
do
wind.
with that project. Oh my gosh. The drains obviously were not. I mean, they're there. I'm not sure they're working.
I still am irritated by the fact that when they first did 146, they never did that right, because the proper direction, and I know why they didn't do it, and it had to do with politics and rich people, but the proper 146 path would have been to go through the Rod and Gun Club, up the top
yeah.
of Sales, up the Iron Mine Hill Road,
Yep.
and come out over where the Dunkin' Donuts is,
Right.
and merge into 146 and
But you have all-
295 as one giant
You have all
merge.
houses in
Right.
through there though, on that
No,
backside.
no, it would have been up the hill, behind the drive-in theater. Yeah, there was some house.
There's a
there were
lot of
house lots.
neighborhoods
Oh
up
yeah,
there.
it's a residential area.
100%.
No doubt about it.
That's probably why it didn't
But
happen.
you know, they do that all the time with highways. When they took 95, my uncle had to move to Warwick because he lived in
Yeah.
Providence
Right
near the
away.
hospitals. It's just that it's a straighter path. It would have made more sense. It would have avoided this whole nonsense.
It's been a while since I've been stuck coming up 146, let's say from Lincoln, during like a peak traffic time. And I know enough to stay to the left, not get caught up in the right, hitting the light for 146A. But a lot of people don't, and they're doing the whole cutting over factor. Accidents are just being missed right and left. But I mean, I was significantly far back, and I thought, my God, this is just so poorly planned. And I don't deal with this every day because I'm more in town. I don't get on the highway too often anymore. But I was as far back as almost Lincoln on the left-hand lane, knowing I was going up over the
I just wonder how long it's going to take them to open that second lane that they've been working
a
on.
while now, because it's all,
Snow and ice.
screwed up from all the snow and the rain this weekend. If you look over the ledge,
Yeah, it's just they've been
it is a
raising. It's
mess.
been rising slowly over time, so they're getting there.
They are. All right, we're going to take another break here on the Coffee and program, and it's time for the weather forecast being brought to you by Compassion International.
Increasing clouds today with a high of 28 degrees, wind chill values
You
as
can't-
low as 0. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, overnight low of 7, wind chill values below 0. Thursday's weather increasingly cloudy with a high of 27, wind chill below 0, north wind. Thursday night, a tiny chance of some snow before 9 p.m., cloudy skies all night with a low of 19. Friday, mostly sunny skies with a high near 32. Saturday, sunshine and 36. Sunday, sunshine and 38. Monday, sunshine and 41. Monday night, chance of some rain or snow. Tuesday, chance of rain, mostly cloudy and 45 degrees.
Outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street, where we do have sunny skies with 20 degrees. Thousands of kids in poverty have waited over a year for a sponsor, and their wait today. Become a Compassion sponsor. Text radio to 83393.
Woonsocket Door Sales can handle any kind of door installation, including residential and commercial, paying special attention to your door's infrastructure, such as framework repair, to ensure that your door is firmly in place. Woonsocket Door Sales is a fourth-generation family business, installing and repairing all types of doors. Please visit their website at woonsocketdoorsales.com to see a gallery of door styles, manufacturers, and testimonials from satisfied customers. Woonsocket Door Sales, 767-3448. Call Amy Bebo at 767-3448.
Clean off all the salt and dirt that's attacking your car this winter. Go to Executive Auto Wash in Woonsocket. They have a special going on right now. Sign up for any one of their monthly unlimited washes, and the first month is only $10. This is for new members only. The monthly special includes your choice of the Platinum, the Works, the Deluxe, or the Express car washes. Monthly unlimited washes at Executive Auto Wash means washing your car as many times as you want or need per month. And you can cancel anytime with no cancellation fee. And as part of the monthly unlimited car washes, you can vacuum your car for free. Clean off that car today at Executive Auto Wash, located at the intersection of Privilege, Winter, and Pond Streets right here in Woonsocket.
Hey, it's ON Radio's Cruisin' Bruce Palmer, and I'd love to have you join me every Saturday for the Saturday Block Party. We start at 4 o'clock when I open up the ON Music Vault for you to pick whatever you want to hear or send to somebody special. Yes, the good old radio request days are back. Join me for the Saturday Block Party, Saturdays from 4 until 7 on ON Radio and streaming online at WoonsocketRadio.com.
All right, it is Coffee In on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan, along with Melissa Smith, Tim Draper, and John Ward. And Tim, time for our first message from Navigant Credit Union.
Thanks, Joe. Let's get back down to basics here when we talk about Navigant Credit Union. Let's talk about checking accounts. Everybody really needs that sort of spend account. Their checking accounts look different than they used to in terms of, writing a check, getting checks from the bank, and putting them in your check register and doing all those things manually. Now, all your checking accounts are really tied to your electronic online banking, which makes banking a lot easier. You can check your accounts daily. You don't have to drive to the bank to get it. You can do it online if you'd like, or even on your mobile phone, which is what I'm kind of doing now. But there are several different types of checking accounts where you can get that kind of access at Navigant Credit Union. First is our flagship Journey Rewards checking. That's a great account in the sense that you can earn interest on the money that you have deposited in your checking account up to $20,000. And as long as you do 3 basic qualifications monthly to get that high interest, you need to enroll in electronic statements. You need to make 1 direct deposit. And you need to make 12 debit card purchases per month. And I'll tell you what, that's very easy for just about everybody because you're just doing those things anyway for the most part. That's our Journey Rewards checking. Our personal checking is real simple. If you're just looking for a basic checking account, if you have a direct deposit, it's free. If you're over 50, it's free. If you're able to maintain $500 in the account, it's free. So that's the beauty of having the regular personal checking account. Our relationship checking account is a little bit higher if you'd like to earn some competitive interest rates on some time deposits. You need to have average daily balance of $5,000 across all your accounts in order to earn that, and you need to enroll in electronic statements. And we have our New Beginnings checking, which is for folks who might have had a little bit of a blemish in their past in their banking relationships. New Beginnings is an opportunity for you to rebuild your banking relationships. And finally, our Embark account, which we've talked about a lot for our youth, for our young folks. It helps help them learn about managing their money. So those are the checking accounts available at Navigant Credit Union. We try to make it simple for you, and we hope that you'll stop by our branch in Park Square, talk to the team there, learn a little more about these accounts. Or, if you think you know enough, just go online and open an account there.
All right, Tim. I don't know if you've seen the joke. It makes its way around the social media. talking about, I really wish these financial institutions would supply their ATM machines a little more often. This is the 5th one I've been to that said insufficient funds.
Yeah, well, we can help you with a lot of things. That one we can't.
No? Oh, okay.
I have to give you a quick little shout out if I could. I was with Amanda LaRoche last week at the North Smithfield High School Career Fair. Was that last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, last Thursday.
Yep.
Oh, we were at the same table.
that
Total
was so
coincidence.
funny.
We didn't even have to bribe anybody. But I got to see waves of kids, obviously freshmen, sophomore, junior, seniors. They came through by grade. You would automatically think, like, I think, okay, I've got 2 kids in the school system. From the time they were 13, we opened their own. I mean, we had their own accounts, but we put them over into their names, their control, their power. Shocked how many people Amanda asked, do you have a checking account, that said no. That were juniors and seniors, and I could not believe it. And she did some really great on-the-spot education. Gave a lot of them little $25 sign-up little
Open it up,
coupons.
get a little bonus.
So hopefully that impacted you guys, shortly after the career fair.
Right.
But I'm thinking they went home with some education for their parents, I'm hoping.
Yeah.
But,
they need a
if
checking account.
anybody's listening, get your kids signed up. They need to have some
They need to have some
responsibility
place to put
before
the
they
money.
leave your house.
Right.
All right.
Just don't put it
While
in
they're
your
under your
nightstand.
roof.
Don't put your money in the nightstand.
All right, we got to we're gonna make a drawing. John, we're gonna let you pull out one number. This is for the Milk Fund raffle. Today's winner is gonna win a $50 Amazon gift card.
I
That
won
was-
last week.
That was donated by State Rep Bob Phillips, and so John has pulled one out. And John, can you read the name?
Looks like it's Mark Rebello.
Yes, Mark Rebello.
Rebello.
All right,
Well,
congratulations,
hey.
Mark. We'll give Mark a call, and as soon as he comes down and picks up his $50 gift card to Amazon, his name gets put back into the drawing, and he may be pulled again, like Tim may be pulled
Yep.
again.
I could be pulled again.
All right, congratulations to Mark Rebello.
Pull my leg.
All right, Melissa, what do you think on this? Does the WNBA,
Okay.
Women's National
I knew
Basketball
it had to do with
Association,
something
Women in
Well,
sports.
okay.
Women in sports.
Yes.
is there an audience for it in Boston? And I bring it up because Donnie Wahlberg, we know Donnie,
Yeah.
right? The actor.
Not personally.
No, I know, but he wants to bring a WNBA franchise to Boston. Now there is one in Connecticut.
I was just going to say,
and
Connecticut's very close.
and they're still there. I don't know how well they draw, but they must be doing okay because they've been there since the league had started.
Spending all his Blue Bloods money.
Is he putting it at the Garden?
Let's see. Launching the franchise in Boston, an ownership group led by actor Donnie Wahlberg and former NBA player Michael Carter Williams, planning to offer an NBA expansion team. Governor Maura Healey, Boston Mayor Michelle Wu are both in support of the effort to bring pro basketball to the city. A game between the Connecticut Sun and the Los Angeles Sparks did play at the TD Garden last August, was a sellout. It doesn't say if they want to play at the Garden. It might be like the Professional Women's League of Hockey play at the Aganis Arena.
Yep.
Which is obviously a lot less people can get in there, but they get decent crowds at like 5,000. Maybe they can play there, or one of the other colleges.
If I felt like,
I was always surprised Boston didn't have one.
so we have a lot of great college level women's basketball programs in the Boston area that I attend a lot of the games by default because of my husband's occupation. If I felt like those were selling out, but they're not, it's unfortunate, but it's still very thin crowds at the women's basketball games in the Boston area. They deserve way more support than they're getting. So I think if I use that as my evidence of support, I don't know if you'd see them come out to Boston
But can you
for a
can you
on
use that?
the size of the Garden.
Because in college sports is different than
I don't know. There's
professional
some
sports.
really good teams that deserve a lot
Well,
more
I
viewership.
100% agree with that. But I think that people look at college and they go, it's college. This is professional. That's why if you're playing in TD Garden, if you're playing in those high-profile places, I would think you could certainly at least draw the crowd.
Well, I will say this. So, last year we all watched. Well, I watched. You didn't probably watch it, but Holy Cross played Caitlin Clark in the playoffs. It was exciting for their program, but they had a amazing season, amazing group of girls playing. The whole game is elevated tremendously, largely in part due to players like Caitlin Clark. I watch regularly, whether it's on the TV or in person. These girls at the college level are just as talented as what you're watching in the professional league, and I watch some WNBA games when they're in season. I don't know if it's going to get the same crowd. I mean, Boston Garden's huge.
Well, don't play
Sun
there.
is
Yeah.
is a smaller,
much
more
smaller.
modest
But
size.
could they build something over at the casino in Everett?
That would be a different conversation.
And then you've got Well, Kraft is going up there with the soccer team, right? The Revolution's going to build their stadium in Everett, which is great for the Tidewater folks. That means they're farther away. Yeah, I not that you asked for the man's opinion on the panel, but I think it's a
I think
it's
it
a
would
great
be a
idea.
big stretch to build its own
It's a
arena,
gamble.
but if it's for a multi-purpose arena, I don't know what I think about this. And I think you thought I was going to say, yes, it's a great idea.
Well, no, not
I
necessarily.
just don't know.
But,
You absolutely did, Joe. Come on.
it's a gamble to bring it to Boston, but if they get TV coverage, which will
Yeah.
garner more enthusiasm, you might get more crowd coming to the games if they're there. You may or you may not, and it all depends on how well they do as well.
Right, but I mean, if you've got a high-profile individual as your lead partner in the organization, you're going to be able to draw in a lot of.
You mean like
can
a
get
player?
some Hollywood people. You're going to get some high-profile players, I think. There's a certain attraction to having a TV star as your
President or whatever he is.
Yeah, I think it's certainly worth the gamble to try it. And I bet they
I'm
would
going
be
home
successful.
with this question. I'll be back next week
I
with an answer.
bet they'd be successful. That's my guess.
I hope. I would like to see it happen. Personally, I think it'd be great.
Okay.
I just don't know if it would bring the crowd that it would deserve.
John, any thoughts at all on the WNBA franchise in Boston?
Boston's a very vibrant market. I would think that if they find the right location,
Not the Garden.
Not the Garden. No, that's just too big. Some university or some college or some size closer to what they have would probably work better for them. But I don't know if the Caitlin Clark thing was just a flash in the pan for them, and it'll fade away.
She's still the top star.
She is, but are they still filling the
I don't know.
venues every night because of her presence?
I'll add one more little comment in there about the Connecticut team being successful. You're so close to UConn as well, and that does draw a tremendous amount of women's basketball fans. You guys been to a UConn game in Hartford?
Not in Hartford.
If you ever have a chance, go.
Jumping?
It is a once a year thing I do with my daughter as our little bonding thing, but it is so much fun. The energy and the excitement surrounding women's basketball in that arena, it's sold out all the time. It's a blast, and it's inexpensive, and it's obviously a quick hour, 20-minute ride. I don't even know what it is, but I think there's a little bit of that too, is because you already have the build-up and the support in UConn basketball land for women's basketball, that it's easily transferable over to the professional team. I don't know if Boston would. I don't know.
Okay, last week we asked Melissa about how the flu season is going at St. Antoine. She says, well, it's about average. But we do get the story today. More than 900 people in Rhode Island, just in Rhode Island, have been hospitalized because they have the flu so far. And the highest number in 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's all three of them, right? It's the RSV,
Yeah, there's
the
some
flu.
weird. My niece came home. She's a student at Fairfield in Connecticut, lives up in the South Shore area in Boston, and she came home. She's been sick for 3 weeks and finally caved this past week and just had to come home. But had flu, but then it rolled into some virus on top of that. You can't
Like the
take
norovirus,
anything, all of it.
yeah, you get everything,
She's got some respiratory thing on top of it. 3 weeks sick, and the doctor basically said it's that perfect combination that so many people are getting, and it wipes you out with the flu, and then it rolls into something else, and then you're just dehydrated, and your antibodies are just kicked.
It's like the Pope.
Like
Double pneumonia.
A little nervous about that.
Yeah,
I've seen. I didn't think
88.
he was 88. I thought he was 82, and then they were like, no, he's 88.
88. Yeah, I've seen reports where they claim he was telling some of those around him, "I'm not sure I'm going to make it through this one."
Wow.
And
Okay.
apparently, they're trying to arrange
You got to get the Cardinals together.
the deals around the next pope.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. Watch The Conclave.
Yeah.
You seen that movie? Oh, you
I've heard
gotta
of
watch
it,
it.
yeah.
It is amazing.
How they choose a pope?
Well, I mean, everybody knows how they do it, but the
About how
politicking,
political it is?
how
Yeah.
political it is.
Oh, it's awful, I'm
And,
sure.
and not just the politics behind it, but then the ending is just blows you right out of the water. It's like, wow, didn't see that
I'm still
coming.
trying to get over the fact that there's so many people that say that John Paul I was actually murdered.
Oh,
Wow.
he was old.
I don't remember that happening.
No, but he died very quickly.
He did,
after
like
he
after
became
a
pope.
couple of months. Yeah,
Yes.
I remember that.
Oh, that
Okay.
John
Yeah,
Paul one.
the first
John Paul
one.
one.
Not
Yes.
John Paul.
John Paul
yeah,
one.
right. I do remember that.
Like-
yep. 50 days.
Yeah.
Was it
It
50?
was,
Yeah,
it
50
was
or
quick.
51.
Wow. Okay.
And there's always been rumors about whether
Something
or not it was
happened.
natural or not.
All right. Tim, it's time for a second message from Navigate Credit Union, then we'll take another break.
Yep, just a little cautionary tale for everybody, as we like to remind folks that it is silly season, and when it comes to fraud and financial exploitation, there are a lot of cons and scams out there right now. Right now, I think the biggest one is with the electric and gas companies. They're trying to get you to click on a text telling you that your bill is past due, or that there's a problem with it, and you got to call somebody. If you're getting texts out of the blue from any agency like that, just don't follow the text. If you're concerned, pick up the phone and dial the published number for the electric company or for the utility and ask to speak with somebody in customer service and let them know what's going on. But don't just blindly follow links in emails or in texts. And I can't believe how many texts a day I get on stuff like that.
Yeah.
It really is amazing. And a lot of it looks real. It gets me to stop for a second and go, did I order that from Amazon? Did something coming? Do I need to let? And then I realized, don't be stupid, Tim. Just go to the Amazon app and look and see where your orders are, and you can track them there and all of this stuff. So, the tale is, don't give your information out. Don't even entertain pressing links and things like that. There's a ton of people out there who can help you to validate whether that's real or not. Certainly our team at 233-4700 can help walk you through it. There is no shame. There is no judgment. It's happening to everyone. So take advantage of your resources and give us a call.
Very good, Tim. And more of the Coffee and program is coming up. Stay tuned.
Whether you own a restaurant or an auto repair shop, you need as many customers as you can get. Every business does. Don't limit yourself to one newspaper. Get the power of 2 daily newspapers for the price of 1. The Blackstone Valley's Call and Times deliver customers from all over the valley with just one phone call. Phone 767-8500 for twice the effectiveness over twice the area. The Call and the Times.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
I'm Sia, and I support Humane World for Animals, formerly called the Humane Society of the United States. Together, we have created a new version of Peter Gabriel's beautiful song, Salisbury Hill, to celebrate Humane World for Animals and everything they do. Enjoy the song and join us in helping Humane World for Animals end animal cruelty.
Northern Rhode Island Council of the Arts is celebrating 30 years of Mardi Gras. The coronation of the Queen is February 23rd and includes an Italian buffet. Tickets $20. The Mardi Gras Ball is March 1st, includes a Creole Cajun buffet, and will feature the Squeeze Box Stompers. Tickets $35. Tickets can be purchased from any Queen contestant or at Missy's Family Restaurant, Cello's, Timeless Antiques, Pine Swamp Place, Belo's Flowers, The Honey Shop, Creative Impressions, Vos True Value Hardware, or call 401-486-9380 or 401-257-5797.
It's Coffee and on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with John Ward and Tim Draper and Melissa Smith. And, you know, the second trial for Karen Reed hasn't started, but there's something almost every week.
What is going on?
Yeah.
And so yesterday, the judge in the Karen Reed case has ordered a hearing because the prosecution leveled serious allegations against the defense. And now we don't have any specifics, but it makes you wonder what they are. Special prosecutor, the new guy brought in, Hank Brennan, accused the defense of coordinating testimony with expert crash reconstruction witnesses after telling the court they were retained independently. So, Judge Beverly Cannon, she was the first judge, immediately ended a motion hearing yesterday, warning that the information could have a profound effect on the defense and the defense counsel.
What happens?
I don't know. That's all I got.
So the prosecution is saying that the defense is manipulating their part of the trial.
Yeah, they used expert crash reconstruction witnesses.
So what's wrong
telling
with
the
that?
court they were retained independently.
Isn't that what all attorneys do?
Maybe
hire experts and then talk to them about what their testimony is going to be.
But maybe it's a surprise to the defense. They didn't know we were going to do this.
Maybe.
So I don't know. I'm not a lawyer.
Just wait for the Netflix show. When is that coming out? I mean, we talked about this a year ago.
I will,
like, oh, I can't wait for that to come out.
These are your people,
have
Joe.
to wait.
They're in
Have
your-
to wait for
they're
this.
in your
I know.
town.
Have to wait for the second travel shot. I will hang on to this and ask Bob Lauder about it tomorrow.
Yes.
See what he knows about it. So from the Say It Ain't So department, say it ain't so.
Say it ain't so.
Kentucky Fried Chicken is leaving Kentucky.
That doesn't even make sense.
Well, the Fried Chicken Company announced it's moving its U.S. headquarters to Texas. KFC is owned by a company called Yum Brands.
So Texas Fried Chicken?
Says the move is part of its broader plan to have 2 permanent corporate headquarters instead of 3, I guess. One's in Irvine, California, and one in Plano, Texas.
We'll see how long it takes them to close the California one down and move out of there.
You think so? Minutes. KFC and Pizza Hut's global teams are already based in Texas, while Taco Bell and the Habit Burger and Grills team, must be a West Coast thing, are located in California. KFC still plans to maintain corporate offices in Louisville, Kentucky.
I'm just jealous how companies decide they just want to go to Texas. Probably
They get
'cause
better
all the-
tax deals?
All the business processes are probably a lot easier and better in Texas than they are here or other places in the U.S. But
Is that the new place to move to for businesses?
It's not for the power grid.
no, that is true. That's because there's so many people moving there that they don't have enough power in the power grid.
All right, let's see. In case you're wondering, John, because I know you weren't a big fan of the SNL 50th anniversary. Did you watch it, Melissa?
I did.
Tim, yeah. John
Segments.
Okay. It did well. Big ratings win. The special brought in an average of 14.8 million viewers on Sunday night. That's a 202% more than the average number of viewers of a regular Saturday Night Live episode this season. Well, it was on
Wait,
8 at night instead of
But nobody's
11:30 at
watching
night.
this season.
Right, that's right. One of my favorite parts of that was Eddie Murphy doing Tracy Morgan next to Tracy Morgan.
Yes.
That was pretty
That was
I
one of
agree
the
with
best
that.
impressions ever. I'm like, oh my god, that is so funny.
So the total viewers or whatever, do they track that at the beginning of the show and then at the end of the show? Because I wondered how
they
many
do.
people like
I think-
myself watch the first
It's probably checking you
half hour
right
and
at
then-
the
It was
beginning.
3.5 hours.
Well, that's
or recorded it and went back
right.
and.
I would stop there occasionally when I was looking, well, as other shows with commercials, and when the commercials come on, I go over to Saturday Night Live, see if there's anything interesting. But I didn't find a lot of it terribly entertaining. Some of it was.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people say.
It's
Some
just
of-
like
some
watching
of it
a
was,
Saturday
but-
Night Live.
But I'm the
Others
same
it's
kind of
like-
viewer. I'm flipping in and out of those shows, and I that's why I wondered. I know they say the Super Bowl ratings were like
Yeah, they
the
were
best
big.
ever.
Yeah.
But it was Fox, so I'm wondering how much of that is just Trumpian bragging. And that's why I'm wondering if they segment it where I could find out the ratings at the first quarter, the ratings at the second quarter, the ratings for halftime show, the ratings for the third quarter and the fourth quarter, and whether or not it dropped off or increased or anything like that. If the world is anything like me for basketball games or hockey games, basically the ratings for the last 5 minutes would shoot through the roof.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Especially in basketball.
Especially basketball.
The last 5 minutes will take an hour and a half.
Yep. So there's a new version of Jesus Christ Superstar that's going to be at the Hollywood Bowl out in California, and a woman is going to play Jesus Christ.
Well,
That's what we
that's
need.
too much.
Cynthia Erivo,
Yeah.
Erivo.
She's Elphaba
She's the
in
Wicked lady.
She's
Oh, she is.
Elphaba in Wicked.
Oh, okay.
Why would you want historically accurate context?
I don't know, but she confirmed that yep, I'm going to be busy this summer, and that's what I'll be doing. No other cast members have yet to be announced.
That's just
And if you haven't seen the Jesus Christ Superstar from a couple of years ago with John Legend as Jesus Christ, that was
bad. John
pretty
Legend
cool.
was phenomenal.
That was
I did not see that.
Oh,
I didn't
it
even
was
know that
great.
happened.
Oh, it was
Okay.
great.
It was live on NBC.
Oh, was
Yep.
NBC?
About 5
Yes.
years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's so good.
in front of a live audience. Really powerful.
Oh, all right. I'll have to look it up.
Yes.
I'm not sure I like the sets, but the work was the work
Because it was
was
TV.
good.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
TV and.
A New Jersey pet store employee is in the hospital. Serious injuries. She was shot in the face with a crossbow.
Shot in the face?
In the face. Yeah, I can't imagine how much that would hurt.
Oh.
They're investigating the incident, and they think it's an attempted homicide.
Oh.
Well, okay.
This is
So
this
it's
is
like
no
unrelated
accident.
It's not like
to her
an
working
accident.
in a pet store. This
Yeah.
was just like a targeted moment.
She
Oh.
is expected to survive. The suspect fled the scene before the police arrived, and it's unclear whether the two know each other. The store specializes in hand-raised exotic birds and was coincidentally where a $7,000, African gray parrot was stolen from just a few weeks ago.
Now it's connected.
I remember that
Wow,
scenario.
okay.
I remember seeing the video.
It's an inside job, and somebody don't want. Yeah.
The bird was returned later after someone bought the parrot and called in a tip. Wow. $7,000 for a bird.
Yeah. People pay that for designer dogs.
That's true.
Do they?
But at least the bird
all right.
will sit in your lap. What's the bird going to do? Crap in your lap.
Sit in the cage and wait for food.
That's all they do.
So even though you may not be in a car or a truck, if you're in some kind of vehicle and you're on the highway, and you might be charged with DWI if they find you asleep. So this man in Tarrytown, New York, charged with DWI. He was found sleeping in his tractor on the New York State Thruway.
His tractor?
In his tractor.
Oh my God.
The state police reported to reports of a tractor with a plow blocking the exit ramp to Interstate 287 on Saturday night. Now you're in the way. When the troopers responded, they found Kleber Giovanni something else asleep behind the wheel, and he had a blood alcohol level of 0.22%, which is more than twice the legal limit.
That's all?
He's facing a whole bunch of charges, including aggravated DWI. Must be something in New York. Driving without a license, operating an unregistered tractor.
I can see it was a little John Deere running out on the. Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So wow.
The name is still catching me. It's
Kleber
Giovanni.
And there's another name after that too. It's I need Steve Peluso here. It's real Italian. I don't want to screw it up. So, all right. Not only did they fire the bird flu people, but the head of the FDA food division is resigning.
Well, she's
No,
the one
it's a
that
guy,
didn't.
Jim Jones.
Who was the one that didn't give access to
that
Musk, and then
was
she
Social Security
left? Oh, that's what it was. That's right.
This is Jim Jones. He announced his
Jim Jones. Anybody named Jim Jones shouldn't be working for the government.
Announced his decision Monday, citing the Trump administration's mass firings of other FDA employees. Jones said the indiscriminate and short-sighted firing of staff would undermine the agenda of Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He added that he was looking forward to improving the health of Americans, but said it would be fruitless to continue in his role due to Trump's disdain for the very people necessary to implement those plans. So
I just like the fact that they're putting the question out on X that asks whether or not we should remove prescription drug ads from television, and the overwhelming responses.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know what some stations.
I didn't realize they were not allowed up to a certain year.
And then there was.
I think it was during the Clinton administration they became allowed. Might have been Reagan, and they've been allowed since. But we're one of only 2 nations in the world that allows it.
Yeah. I saw it online somewhere. Someone actually typed in, because they wrote down every single one they saw, and there's like 20 different ones. I'm like, wow.
And the
I
cost,
see it so often.
because they're on every commercial spot.
Yes,
it's insane. If I hear Jardiance one more time, I'm going to punch my TV.
Coca-Cola is launching a new prebiotic drink called Simply Pop.
Well, they're all trying to compete with
yeah.
What's the one I'm thinking of?
The Poppy one?
Poppy.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? That's like
could somebody tell me
$2.50
what's
a
the
can
difference?
or something.
I'm not a doctor. What's the difference between prebiotic and probiotic?
They both target
the younger crowd?
your belly, your gut health differently. One helps.
No, I'm assuming they're different.
Soften and release things, and
one's at the beginning and one's at the end.
I'm trying to find the best way to discuss this on the air, but
there is no good way.
Yes,
So just
one
fire it
helps
out.
with softening and releasing, and one helps with thickening
processing. Beginning
So,
versus the end.
So the product's going to be available on the West Coast, southeastern U.S., and online nationwide via Amazon Fresh. So you have to go buy it online. A study by Euromonitor International Data said the digestive health soft drink market growth has doubled over the last few years. Something I haven't been keeping my eye on.
Can I just make a suggestion to people who are considering buying that, or even my kids who started buying that soda, not knowing the impact it was going to have in your belly, just that it was popular or whatever? No.
Okay.
They just heard that it tastes good.
Okay.
Yeah. But they're very smart kids. So anyways, my point is, take a pill form probiotic or prebiotic, depending on your situation, or like vitamin form of it. Don't buy a drink
water.
and don't buy Coca-Cola where you're also having caffeine on top of now bubbles and
Coke's not a sponsor.
None
of
of
the radio
that's helping
show, is
your
it?
stomach all by itself. So I didn't think of that.
Simply Pop flavors. Here you go: pineapple, mango, lime, strawberry, fruit punch, and citrus punch. Everything the kids like. The drink has no added sugars and contains vitamin C, zinc, 6 grams of prebiotic fiber, and up to 30% fruit juice. So 70% garbage and 30% fruit juice.
That's right. That's my point.
Are you sure fruit juice is actually good?
No, it's actually not.
Okay.
Red dye number 9 in it.
Well, there's just way too much sugar.
Right.
All right, that'll do it for the show.
And by the way,
yes,
from what I understand, the most expensive part of soft drinks is the can.
Yeah.
Because it looks pretty, right?
Yes.
And with the aluminum tariff, who knows how much it's going to cost coming.
That ad for Poppy with a woman is sitting at the diner and can't decide what she wants to drink because she doesn't want to order a soda in front of her friends because she'll be embarrassed. I'm like, what? And then, just have a Poppy. Okay, still a soda.
Yeah.
And why aren't you embarrassed? So.
Yeah.
Well, can we
Doesn't
just
make
say
much sense.
great marketing department?
I guess.
Whatever
That's
they're
what it comes
doing,
down
they
to.
have managed to overcome kind of the stigma attached to having a probiotic or prebiotic in a cute can
there you
and
go.
charge people $2.50 a can for it. Good job.
All right, that'll do it for the show for today. Thank you very much for listening in, as always. Melissa Smith, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me. I'll see you next week.
Go home and wake up your kids.
I know one of them's up. I just got a text.
Oh, very good. Tim Draper, thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Joe, for having me.
All right, and John, thanks for being here.
Enjoy the God-given day, but blame Poxitani Phil because it's so freaking cold. Have a great day, everybody.
Next week we're going to be in like short sleeves, right? They're saying it's going to really warm up next week. So.
All right, this is Joe Callahan. Have a great day. Stay tuned for Gary Smith and the crew. Do you remember it's coming up at 9:30 here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news. U.S. Senator Ed Markey of Massachusetts says that President Trump is attacking the judicial system. The Massachusetts Democrat says Trump is going after the Constitution and the courts like no president ever before in the nation's history. Meeting with legal experts in Boston on Sunday, he called Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, Elon Musk's rhetoric reckless and, quote, inching us closer to authoritarianism. Say music fans, the band ZZ Top is going to perform in Massachusetts this year at the Big E in West Springfield, as a matter of fact.